The matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Dominique Sterling, docket numbers 25-05835FC. Will the parties please identify yourselves for the record?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Elizabeth Bartlett and Blair Lockman on behalf of the people.
Andrew Rodenhouse on behalf of Mr. Sterling, who's present at the podium with counsel.
Good afternoon, counsel. Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
Good afternoon.
With the people,
We ask that you impose life without the possibility of parole.
thank you. Why don't we go ahead and let the victim speak to the board. Good afternoon, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Good. Could you state your name for us?
Rodney Yarber.
Okay. Y-A-R-B-E-R?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
The brother Daryl Yarber. I just want to say that, he wasn't a perfect person. Everybody make mistakes and, get themselves involved in a lot of things in life. But overall, he was a great person. Very funny, had a very good sense of humor. He was loved by his family. It's only a few of us here today. Some people don't want to relive that moment of him passing or being deceased. So I'm here as his big brother. I just wanted to be known that he was loved, and I'm here to support him, and that's the reason that I'm here, to let people know that Daryl Yarber was loved. So.
All right. Appreciate it, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much, and thank y'all very much as well.
Have you had the opportunity to read, review, and discuss the precinct's report with you?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, we've had the opportunity to read, review, and discuss the pre-sentence report. We have no additions or corrections to it. We did review the one sentencing information report for count 3. I believe it is accurately scored. Your Honor, Mr. Sterling went to trial. He did not testify at trial. He maintains his innocence. He has a right to an appeal. It's my understanding that he doesn't wish to speak as far as any allocution goes at this time, so we'd ask the court not to take that into consideration at the appropriate moment. He has filled out the right for appellate review form, and I will bench file that with your clerk. And then finally, Your Honor, as far as there's an outstanding ARU order, now that Mr. Sterling is being sentenced with the court, he respectfully asks the court lift that ARU order. Now that this is complete, he would like access to the phone and his tablet so he can communicate with family members.
My thought is, why don't we address some of these? Not today.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it may be fast, maybe off before we even have to. Right. Okay. Why don't we, if you want to have a conversation with me? Yeah, I'll send an email. Okay, thank you. Was there anything else, Mr. Rodenhouse?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Sterling, I know your attorney said you didn't want any allocution today, but just a couple of questions. Have you had the opportunity to read, review, and discuss the pre-sentence report with your attorney?
Yes.
And would you like to waive your opportunity for allocution today?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Thank you. So, sir, we went to jury trial in this matter, and ultimately the jury convicted you of 5 counts. Homicide, murder, first degree, premeditated, which has a life maximum sentence, and in fact, life without parole. Homicide, murder, first degree, premeditated, conspiracy, also a life maximum sentence. Weapons, firearm, possession by a prohibited person, which has a 10-year maximum sentence. And that count 3 scores on the guidelines at 24 to 57 months. Counts 1 and 2 do not require guideline scoring. Count 4 and 5 also do not require guideline scoring because they are 2-year consecutive offenses. And we also, at the time of the guilty plea, if you recall, there was a habitual offender third, which you entered a plea to following the jury conviction. And so that's not its own conviction, but that does impact how some of your guidelines score out. Sir, you're 34 years old, 2 prior felonies, 4 prior misdemeanors. You've been in the juvenile court system, 2 prior terms of jail, 1 prior term of probation, 2 prior terms of prison. You are currently under sentence for parole that started, or at least were, at the time of the offense, starting on December 6th of 2022 for 24 months. You did complete your GED. You do have 2 prior high severity felony offenses, the 2010 armed robbery and the 2019 bank robbery. And what I wanted to run through today, sir, is really focusing a little bit on the trial and just what happened. This was a jury trial, and the jury heard all the evidence in this case. I didn't make the ruling, the jury heard the ruling. They found you guilty, first-degree premeditated murder for count 1. And in doing so, they found that you caused the death of Daryl Lamont Yarber by shooting him multiple times, that you intended to kill him, that you did so premeditated and thought it out beforehand, and it was deliberate, which means that you considered the pros and cons of the killing, and you thought about and chose your actions before you did it. They also found you guilty of count 2 conspiracy, basically that you agreed with someone else to commit first-degree premeditated murder, and that agreement took place on or continued on or about November 6th of 2023. We found you guilty of count 3, felon possessing firearm, that you knowingly possessed a firearm in the state and you were a prohibited person from possessing the firearm. They found you guilty of count 4, possession of firearm at the time you committed first-degree premeditated murder. And finally, they found you guilty of count 5, possession of firearm at the time you committed count 3, felon possessing firearm, knowingly carrying or possessing a firearm. And when we went to trial here, we heard evidence that you and at least one other individual conspired to kill Mr. Yarber. You and your co-conspirator, or conspirators, lured him to a spot with minimal video surveillance. You tricked him into posing, you collectively, but tricked him into posing for glamour shots on his car, all while you snuck behind him and shot him multiple times, killing him. At trial, we heard from the medical experts, the autopsy photos, and phone tracking data. 9mm cartridge casings were recovered from the scene. The jury saw multiple surveillance videos, photos, crime scene data, and afterwards you fled the scene. At trial, we also saw a school bus drive by during or shortly after this murder and drop the kids off right in the neighborhood. And again, I'm not saying you're involved for the school bus, but my point is a murder in a residential neighborhood can have many second, third order effects, and it puts a number of others at risk in this process. Your acts that day were callous and heinous toward Mr. Yarber. Guidelines are appropriate here in not even applying to first-degree premeditated murder conviction or conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. This was not a heated moment where you lost control, but it was a planned-out event where you set this in motion beforehand with others. Based on the various sentencing factors and the evidence that I heard at trial and the jury's decision here with the convictions, it is a sentence of the court that you will be sentenced for count 1 to life without parole, concurrent to counts 2 and 3. For count 2, life without parole, concurrent to counts 1 and 3. For count 3, 56 months to 10 years, concurrent to counts 1 and 2. For count 4, 2 years to 2 years, consecutive to count 1 and preceding count 1, and concurrent to counts 2, 3, and 5. And for count 5, 2 years to 2 years, consecutive to count 3 and preceding count 3, and concurrent to counts 1, 2, and 4. And those are all consecutive to parole to this matter. All credit 0 days. That is the final sentence of the court, and we'll see if one that explains your appellate rights. Your attorney indicated you've already filled out the form, and I will just remind you that we will oppose $340 state costs, $130 project and rights assessment, and $1,000 in court costs. I think the average cost of a case in King County Circuit Court is $1,861, so I do find the $1,000 sensitive. Is there anything else concerning us?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
From the people?
I just want to clarify that the 2 counts of felony firearm are concurrent to each other, correct? But
Yes.
sent consecutive to the remainder of the charges.
Correct, and I believe
Okay.
I said that.
Perfect. Just want to make sure that you didn't do those 2 consecutive to each other. Those would be concurrent.
They're only consecutive to the counts that they are linked to, which is counts 1 and 3.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Can you put them in a box?